All right. Good morning, YouTube. It is June 23rd, 2022, and the show continues on. God bless you all. Thank you for tuning in. Today we have Bitcoin at 20,500, Ethereum at 1100. Who cares about the rest? I'm just kidding. We got XRP, our main, at 32 cents. Okay. And who actually does care about the rest of these cryptocurrencies, I'm not going to go through, but the market is still hanging in there. You're starting to see a little bit of action in the altcoins. This is a continuation of the bull trap rally, the bull trap accumulation phase before the new moon comes in on June 28th. Be ready for that. We're going to cover that at the end of this show after we go through all of our news, the current events, the update that we have for you today. We're going to cover the charts and the moon phase pattern, where we think this market is going. But in the meantime, if these assets look attractive enough, if they turn you on enough, take advantage of these prices. But I will be waiting for much lower prices. Just to cut to the chase, I do not believe that the bottom is in. I know a lot of people are starting to say that. The thumbnails and the stuff that I'm seeing on YouTube is ridiculous as always, but so many people I'm seeing found a new signal. They found something in the charts. It's bottomed, and there's only a few people that I really respect when it comes to the TA. I've always told you guys, I got a few that we always refer to, but I'm seeing a general consensus in the YouTube, TikTok, Twitter space here of basically everyone thinking that the bottom is in. And so for me, that signals that most definitely the bottom is not in, and we have much more pain on the way. But, hype sells, pumping, shilling sells. So they continue to spread this information that I believe is disinformation. I mean, how can you say that the crypto space has bottomed out when everything's imploding around us? Hedge funds, crypto hedge funds are going bust, exchanges are going bust, having to bail each other out, and we still haven't had the big granddaddy of them all, Tether, collapse, and we still haven't had Tether peg back to $1. So I don't know what those kids are on, but it must be something good, because I think we most definitely still have a bottom coming in. Let's get started with this current events, current news. If you're tuning in on YouTube or you're listening on the podcast, I appreciate all of you guys for helping me spread this message far and wide. If you're looking to join our exclusive Discord community, head on over to my website, zachrector.com, sign up for the Patreon. You'll get the link and you'll join the party. Let's run it up, guys. Okay, here we go. One more sip of coffee before we start this. Okay, here we go. President Vladimir Putin said on Wednesday that the BRICS countries, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, are currently working on setting up a new global reserve currency. This is being reported from RT yesterday. Okay, that's getting floated around. So we have all of these countries working together to ditch the SWIFT system, ditch the world reserve currency that is the US dollar, setting up a new global reserve currency. Remember, we have major partnerships and adoption with Ripple and other cryptocurrencies that we talk about taking place in Brazil and India specifically. Ripple is making big moves in Brazil and India. Russia as well. We know the oldest bank in Russia was piloting Ripple's XRP as well. So we'll continue to watch that one unfold. This is a beautiful thing to see, but we have to understand what's going to happen to the status of the middle class and poor of America getting completely killed and wiped out from their status that we've held in the world stage. So let's watch that unfold. Continuing on here in America, we finally have someone who is not a Bitcoin proof of work maxi going to speak in front of Congress. Charles Hoskinson saying he is heading off to Washington to testify. Now, I want to just say that I don't hold any ADA, I don't hold any Cardano, but I have so much respect for Charles Hoskinson. He's one of the most respected people in this space for me, because he's just such a real down-to-earth guy, and he really is trying to use this technology to change the world. And I love his takes on free market capitalism, on what America is doing right, what America is doing wrong. And it's great to see someone who's not a proof of work maxi heading to DC to speak to the swamp. And so hopefully we'll see how that goes. Now, meanwhile, we have Brad Garlinghouse meeting with the Monetary Authority of Singapore. Now, we know Singapore is way ahead of the rest of the world, especially America, when it comes to digital assets, technology, cities of the future. Singapore is just light years ahead of us. And it's great to see Brad and Ripple establishing such a great relationship with the folks over there in Singapore. Okay, and I believe that they have some offices. They might have an office over there in Singapore. But what's important to note here, so I titled this video Ripple, the monetary authority of digital assets, because we've had Brad speaking with the monetary authority of Saudi Arabia, monetary authority of Hong Kong, China, now Singapore. It's like every country, and I don't even know what the monetary authority even is, if that's like their central bank or what's going on there. But the amount of central banks, the amount of monetary authorities. So you call them the central bank of digital assets, the monetary authority of digital assets. I like authority because authority, really establishes where they stand in the cryptocurrency space, while the rest of the kids play around. Brad goes to another central bank, to the World Economic Forum, another central bank, and just the show continues on, and we love to see what is taking place here at Ripple, with Brad saying that Drake just released a new album, and a week later, Ripple opens its first offices in Canada. Coincidence? Brad making a funny joke. In all seriousness, though, Toronto has some incredible technical talent, and we're looking forward to meeting you. So Ripple has just announced that they are opening their first Canadian office, a key engineering hub in Toronto. They're looking to hire 50 new employees in this area, eventually expanding to 100. Sorry, that's plural. Hundreds of technical positions. So while the rest of the crypto space is shuttering, closing doors, running, heading for the hills, taking the money and running, Ripple continues to party on. This is Emi Yoshikawa over in New York. We just had the ad running in Times Square. XRP Ledger, the ledger that never sleeps. And in 10 years, we've had no downtime. No one can really hack the XRP Ledger. David's already working on making it quantum resistant. What's your crypto doing, right? While we just continue to take over the world, the party continues at Ripple. Saw a tweet from Reg Z Crypto. She's on TikTok as well, and I saw that she was partying at the Ripple party here with Steve Aoki, or I think that's how you say his name. The famous DJ. What does that matter? What the signal is for me is, while the rest of the world is absolutely burning down to the ground and collapsing, these guys are popping champagne and rubbing shoulders with the suits and sitting at the tables that matter to continue to dominate. The new financial system will be built and ran on a few digital assets, and I just happen to think we've invested in the right one here. These guys are turning up. Last month they did the yacht party. Last few weeks ago, Brad went to the World Economic Forum, meeting with the suits of all the suits, right? And then we continue to see the parade that Brad is putting on here, that Ripple is putting on, expanding now to the first Canadian operation is going to be opening up in Toronto. I'm sorry that I don't cover other cryptocurrencies, but excuse my language, but they're not doing shit, guys. I'm sorry, I am so guilty of not covering other digital assets. And you guys know I only like a few others, XLM, XDC, the few others. But they're just not doing anything that matters, anything that turns me on and gets me excited, So I'm sorry, I am guilty of only covering Ripple and XRP, but when somebody else does something of significance, I'll let you know. But I mean, all I have to report is Solana's down again, another rug pull, another scam. Oh, Bitcoin is getting banned by another country. Thanks for hanging in with me. Bank of England, crypto crash survivors could become tomorrow's Amazon and eBay. So Bank of England 2018 partnership with Ripple piloting XRP. Okay, we know about that. So, if the Bank of England thinks that the crypto crash survivors could become tomorrow's Amazon and eBays, and they did a pilot on the XRP ledger back in 2018 with Ripple, you tell me where this crypto space is going, okay? I've made my bets. You let me know what you think. But Amin, while this whole market's being exposed and falling apart, do not get it twisted. They most definitely are adopting this distributed ledger technology. And this is what this new digital financial system is all about right here. Just in, the EU extends the digital COVID certificate for another 12 months. That is not going away. The digital ID is only growing. And I was, hearing everyone's complaining about digital ID. We're not going to get on board with that. We're not a fan of that. I get that. However, do you use an iPhone? right? Do you have a PayPal account? Do you have a Facebook account? You guys have completely given yourselves up to the digital beast system, myself included. I have all that. So as much as we are against all of this and we want to protect our privacy, let's not get it twisted. They most definitely are not going away with this. They want to keep us in this state of, well, we just heard Biden say that we're going to have another pandemic. What was that, yesterday? Right? So this is just going to continue. It's going to ramp up and extend. In Europe, they are absolutely able to just force this draconian measures down the throats of the citizens of the EU. And we are seeing them rise up. They are fighting, most definitely. And if you're from these countries, I'm not trying to beat up your country. It's just, it seems like they've been able to do a further push. Like, what did I just see? Austria just announced that they have stopped their mandatory vaccination program. So that's just what's being reported. I'm not saying thumbs up, thumbs down, what to do, what not to do, who to believe in, who to love. I don't care. The fact of the matter is, you got to fight the fight in your country, in your state, in your county, in your city, and you got to stand up to people that are trying to infringe upon your rights as a God-given person, God-fearing person on this earth. I will be resisting the government until the day we die, because they are absolutely criminal sellouts and they work against us in every single way. But let's continue on. Breaking news: the Indian government has asked state oil companies to buy up huge volumes of cheap crude from Russia. BRICS continue to work closely together. So we started by saying that the BRICS nations are working on making a new world reserve currency. Okay. And now they have been buying up huge amounts of crude oil from Russia. We now have Germany triggers the alert level of the gas emergency plan. The country is now in short supply. Natural gas is used as a weapon by Russia against us, says Economy Minister Habeck. Yeah, and you have no answer against these weapons, quote unquote weapons against us. I was listening to Jim Rickards talk yesterday, and he was saying how the new system is going to be set up where it's kind of a and it is kind of already this way by basically the sanctions that are enforced by the State Department from America. You're basically going to have friendly countries part of one system, and then you're going to have basically countries that are kind of out of the system. That would be China, that would be Russia. Maybe some of the BRICS nations will remain neutral, like India or Brazil. But basically, there's going to be a system for the friendly, quote unquote, friendly nations, such as the United States and European countries, and then you're going to have an outside system that's going to be the rebels on the world stage events. So we're starting to see that unfold. And what's happened here is the modern day supply chain took 30 years to build up, and now we've seen it destroyed in about 2 years. Okay, so understand that the situation here is only getting exacerbated, and you have to look at where each country's standing is. It's just like the fight that, the political fight against our governments infringing upon our rights. You need to look at the state of your country as far as the supplies that they have to feed their people, to heat their houses. The energy and the food crisis, the two things that they don't include in the CPI inflation data, are the most important things to be looking at, and it's the largest expense in any household. And so when you're considering your situation, when you're considering the situation of your city, the people around you, if you're, I was just watching a YouTuber who has been going to Lake Mead, which, for those of you who don't know, is the largest man-made water reservoir in the United States. Lake Mead was built from the Hoover Dam, basically, and it's the largest water reservoir. It is losing its water level so quickly that they're talking about it being potentially a dead pool here in the next couple years. And not only is it bad because it provides a lot of drinking water, but they're saying that the water level is dropping so drastically, so quickly, that soon it could potentially not be able to generate enough power, hydroelectric power, through that Hoover Dam. And that's what basically is running the power grid for Vegas and millions of people. So this is what I'm talking about. There's serious situations taking place in the United States and across the world. You have to have that awareness of what's going on. Do you live in a city like Vegas that's powered by a Hoover Dam hydroelectric power that could be running out in the next couple years? Are you on the Texas power grid that was shutting down last winter, right? That's potentially going to be shutting down again this summer. So, check out your situation in your country, in your state, your county. See what you have in your household right now. There's a reason why we talk about prepping so much, and it's not because we're crazy end of the world doomsdayers. It's because people are going to get caught up in a mess, just to put it very simply. Now, this is from Kim.com. Economists predict the EU losses may exceed $400 billion in 2022 because of the sanctions. This is how, not ignorant, stubborn. This is how stubborn the EU is. So while they're saying that Russia is using their natural gas as a weapon against us, right, they still persist with the sanctions that is going to cost them up to $400 billion by some predictions. This will hurt people and businesses in Europe significantly and may give rise to social unrest, mass protests, and radical movements. Chaos and destruction in major EU cities can be expected. It's going to be coming in America as well. So be ready for that one. In regards to the direction of this market, one second. Okay, this is the founder, the creator of Dogecoin, which he no longer runs the project, I guess. Shibatoshi Nakamoto is his Twitter handle. But I thought this was pretty spot on with how irrational the markets have been behaving. He says, so is the stock market just going to creep back up until the next Fed meeting and inflation numbers show that it shouldn't? Then everyone overreacts. Then we repeat again with less money. Markets are dumb. And that's exactly what's happening. The day that the Fed made that announcement, Jerome Powell came out and spoke last week. Everyone's coming out with a great reaction. Oh, he's getting tough. He said he's going to do whatever it takes to get rid of inflation so the market starts to react well. Then it's like everyone has a good night's rest, comes back down from the high, and then realizes, wait, that means the situation is going to get much worse before it gets any better, and then we continue to the downside. This has essentially been a repeating process time and time again here, the last 3-4 Fed meetings. We get an initial good reaction. Oh, he's getting tough. And then the market realizes, wait, no, the Fed has no answer to this debt and liquidity crisis. And I want to just add one more thing. You got the Federal Reserve. It meets about every 6 weeks, the FOMC meetings, okay? And that's where they're going to raise interest rates, make a decision on the interest rates, okay? Every 6 weeks that occurs, and then every couple weeks here we have this moon phase pattern that we've been watching so closely. So between the Federal Reserve announcements and the moon phase patterns, we've been able to kind of see the general direction of this market. Now, I'm not trading. I've told you guys I've stopped trading. I'm no longer trading. I'm just using this moon phase pattern, understanding the direction of the market so that I know when I can buy at cheaper prices. So like I said at the beginning, I am waiting for much lower prices. And we might not get the true quote unquote bottom of this market until September. I'm actually looking that to be the more likely scenario, is kind of basically continued downside action until the real bottom is found, potentially September to October timeframe. But in the meantime, we're watching this moon phase pattern, and it's been pretty spot on. That's how we were able to call the markets going back down to about the 20K level. That was a couple weeks ago now, right? We knew that full moon was coming in on the 14th or the 15th of June. Okay, so here on this chart, that vertical line is on the 28th. So if we zoom in here, take a look, you'll be able to see here that we could maybe move back up to the upside a little bit. I don't see a major breakout like back to 30K happening, but who knows? We could pump to 22, 23K over the next 4 or 5 days. New moon coming in on June 28th. And what we've been seeing is relative tops in the market cycle around the new moon and then bottoms around the full moon. So when you add the Federal Reserve raising interest rates, those FOMC meetings every 6 weeks, with the moon phase pattern, those are the two main indicators that I'm watching to see the direction of this market. So over the next week, I would expect this thing to move sideways, maybe get one more little rally to the upside. before we continue down to the overall downside on the macro level, like zoomed out, heading towards September, I see this thing going down much lower, much lower. Just look at how low we've already gone, and we haven't even had Tether implode yet. So with that being said, if you guys want to get access to our exclusive Discord community where you can join me on my weekly live calls, where 2 weeks ago I perfectly called going back down to 2022K, and where I'm revealing to my Discord group everything that I'm doing in regards to business, real estate, cryptocurrency, investing, precious metals. It's all over there. Go to zachrector.com, sign up for the Patreon, and you'll get access to the Discord community. Now, I do have a few minutes here, so let's take a few questions, rapid fire Q&A. I appreciate everyone for signing in here on YouTube, on the podcast. If you could leave me a review, hit that thumbs up, and drop a comment down below. I really appreciate all of you guys. Let's take a few questions, rapid fire Q&A. Thank you. The moon has nothing to do with it. Can we just stick to fundamentals? Have fun staying poor, man. I don't care. If you want to remain ignorant and not understand that the billionaires use astrology, have fun staying poor, bro. I'm not here to convince you. I don't care. You go pull up the chart, pull up the moon phase pattern, and take 10 minutes to go reflect on what you just said and how stupid that is, okay? Let's continue on. That's coincidence with the full moons. Well, there's many coincidences. You can decide whether to believe in it or not. I don't care, okay? There's a reason why we predicted that Bitcoin would enter a bear market on December 4th. We called that perfectly. Not only that, if you look, we called so much over the last 5 to 6 months, but I don't care to remind you guys about that. That doesn't help you guys. The point being, if you're looking to accumulate these assets at lower prices, I think they're coming in. Short term, accumulation, maybe a little bit more upside. As we move through to the end of the Shemitah year, which ends in September, we're going lower. I think Tether will implode when the market is at all-time highs. The market already imploded. How do you feel about Solana? It doesn't work. It's centralized and it's already had its hype. Ripple got hacked in 2014. Any comments on that? Well, it was relatively new then, and I didn't see that, but it must not have done anything because, yeah, I've never heard of that one. Not a question. Just wanted to say you keep it real. You keep it so real, man. Love your channel. Thank you. Appreciate that. Please, can someone help me with $50 USDT to start over again? Well, if you're starting small, you need to, oh boy. It's tough. It's tough with $50. With such small bags, everyone starts somewhere. I would suggest getting educated, doing research, whether that's just listening here on this channel, whether that's joining our exclusive Discord community, where you can get caught up to speed on everything that we talk about in there. We have every topic covered in there, and we have all of our strategies and resources posted over there. So that would get you caught up to speed relatively quickly, but that would cost you, about your last $50 to join our Discord group. So, if you're in that type of situation, I don't know. Probably need to get educated though. Will we have price action before or after the ISO 222? It'll be after it'll be before. It'll be before. Remember, they're going to front run XRP before the SEC case wraps up. They're going to front run all of the ISO coins before ISO gets to unleashed upon the world. What are your top 8 cryptos? The 5 ISO coins, and then Quant, and then HBAR, and then I just don't care about the rest of the space. Zach, curious if it's going to 10,000 plus a coin, that's millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars. Why do you need tons? For me, I don't know if it's going to go to 10K for sure. It's not a for sure thing, right? And then the ride to much higher prices could be very, very bumpy. So for me, 10K is like baked into the cake, wrapped in. As soon as the SEC case wraps up, a pump to $10 to $30 will ensue. That is a given. But in my opinion, a ride to at least 3 digits is a given as well. And so for me, you're going to want to offload some of those along the way. And then it's just a matter of building a lot of wealth, a lot of wealth. What are your thoughts on VeChain? You know, I know a lot of people like VeChain. I just haven't researched them enough or seen enough partnerships and adoption, but I haven't looked at them that closely. The main reason why I haven't gone in hard on VeChain is because it comes out of China. I don't think it's going to be tough for them to get adoption in a lot of the United States or Europe. Could it be massive over there though? Absolutely. I mean, look at Alibaba. They got sued by the SEC or whatever happened there, but they're still doing it. Zach, I'm starting to lose faith in the SEC versus XRP case. I'm tired of being poor. So your situation does not reflect anything that's taking place in the Ripple versus SEC case. Many people are frustrated because they are still poor and they are still out of money. And that's what you said. I'm not calling you poor. You called yourself poor. Now, let's take a step back here. You have the ability to change your situation with or without the Ripple versus SEC case. Too many people are relying on their 2000 XRP to change their life. You got to start a side hustle. You got to start a business. You got to figure out your life, your situation. What do you control in the meantime? Because this is what's making a lot of people capitulate and a lot of people, like you said, about to give up. You're focusing on somebody else changing your life. You need to take action. You need to take accountability, which many people don't want to hear, but it's the truth. Everybody wants to retire. Everyone wants a mansion. Everyone wants to get rich. Nobody wants to do the work. Everybody wants to get rich quick and then invest in passive income. 99% of those people are not going to make it. VeChain just got a partnership with UFC. Okay, that's a good clarification. A promotional partnership doesn't mean shit, guys. It doesn't mean shit. I'm sorry, please excuse my language, and I do apologize, but sometimes I got to emphasize my point. Crypto.com got a partnership with the UFC. What did that do for it? It pumped it up to about $1. Where's Crypto.com at now? Right? It's not real adoption. Buying a stadium is not adoption. XRP hosting central bank digital currencies in multiple countries is adoption. You know? Renting out a booth at some conference, at somebody else's conference is not adoption. So we have to really clarify what partnerships are. Is it a photo op? Is it something cute that they're doing? Are they buying a stadium for just marketing? Crypto.com were exceptional marketers. Great marketing going on over there. They pumped it up very well. A lot of people were into Crypto.com, and I do believe that they were a solid exchange. And then when they did the Kronos staking program, the DeFi space was doing well. But then what's happened during a bear market? The thing's been absolutely hammered in price. And then they took back all those staking rewards. Whatever you were getting for your Kronos, they cut that way down. And then they cut back all the rewards that you get for using your Crypto.com card. So at the end of the day, what did the stadium announcement do? What did the UFC partnership do? Pumped it up for a little bit, only to have it fall back down 70% plus. So I'm not trying to beat up these cryptos, but I'm trying to emphasize that there's a difference between, hey, the Central Bank of Palau was building their CBDC on XRP, and VeChain is sponsoring the UFC. Right? So be careful and understand the difference between partnerships and adoption. Everybody in the space has partnerships. Gosh, I always forget that I need to stay centered up here with my webcam. I get ranting and then I move on out of screen. 95% of influencers talk garbage. That's why I don't listen to any of them. I listen to about 3. Trying to think of any on TikTok. I don't really listen to any on TikTok, and then there's a couple on YouTube. Yeah, there's a few. Yeah. Are you buying Ripple stock? I'm not an accredited investor. Yeah. I would be. I would be if I could, and I am going to probably by the end of this year try to get accreditation. We must focus on freedom and not wealth. What is the reason you want to be rich? Money equals freedom. Yeah, I mean, to me, that's going to come from the wealth, though, right? Because for me, wealth is assets that are going to produce cash flow without you having to participate in them every day. Whether that's business, whether that's real estate, whether that's you're staking your fat bag of XRP at Bank of America. Like that's what I'm planning on doing. Is going to B of A. B of A is going to be one of 3 major banks left in the United States once this whole banking system collapses, the new financial system gets rolled out. There will be a dozen banks left, and you go to Bank of America and you say, okay, here's 10,000 XRP. XRP's trading at $100. You do the math on whatever that's worth. You take that money then, and then you buy a business. You buy cash flow, whether that's a business, whether that's real estate, or if you have some other plan. For me, it's a combination of all. True diversification, guys, is not owning 50 different stocks or 20 different cryptos. A lot of people get confused about diversification. They think because they have 20 different cryptos that they're diversified, but all they own is digital currencies. That's not diversification. You own one asset class, and it's a speculative high risk one at that. So what do we talk about? Real estate, precious metals, cryptocurrency, stocks. I don't do bonds. I don't do treasuries, or I don't do stocks really either. I would only be doing pre-IPO stocks if I could, like Ripple. And what are the other ones? There's a few other asset classes there that you could potentially invest in, but that's where the diversification comes from. For me, I got precious metals, I got cryptocurrency, I got a couple businesses, 2 businesses. And then real estate, we're waiting to snipe deals here when the blood in the streets gets worse. It's already started. I actually didn't cover any of the real estate news that I had for you guys today, but there was a couple points that maybe I'll cover tomorrow. Tomorrow, by the way, we're going to be going live on Rumble, exclusive at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Friday night Rumble live session. So make sure you guys are subscribed over there. Why is the lawsuit taking so long? Well, it's like, why is the rollout of the new financial system taking so long? Why is the Great Reset taking so long? It's, I think it's a stall tactics. They're being exposed. They can only push so far at once. If they just went to fully maneuver and wipe out everything. Here's the CBDCs. You guys are only able to use the CBDC. Here's your digital ID. Here's your mandatory jibby jab hokey pokey program. That would be too much, right? So I think they have to roll it out kind of slowly, and they get the people to accept it by doing it this way. They don't think of, oh wow, I just gave up, all my privacy to a digital ID so that I can go to the Super Bowl. All they think about is, oh, this is a convenient way to get into the Super Bowl. I got my ticket right here on my iPhone, right? And it's just like, at the airport, I put my ticket on my phone, right? It's the same thing, guys. Like I said, we've already given ourselves up to this digital beast system, but it's fun for us to, sit back and pontificate on, oh, I would never accept this, and they're never going to get me to sign up for this. Meanwhile, you got a Facebook account. And you're talking about you'll never accept digital ID. Waiting for the housing crash? Yeah, for me, I'm waiting for a healthy, balanced market. For me, I don't need it to absolutely crash by 50%. Some markets are already down 30, 40%. But for me, it's about getting back to balance. We need to regain balance throughout the whole world as far as economics, monetary policy, digital currency space, the stock market, real estate, precious metals. We're going to find balance. Mother Earth finds a way back to balance in regards to the climate crisis. Thoughts on Cosmos? It's already had its moment. It already did well last year. Sandeep, I appreciate your comment, man, and I understand where you're coming from. He says, a lot of people like me hoping to cut through and beat poverty. I hope me and your hard work, money investment works out in the end. Sandeep, I appreciate that comment, man. And, I hope you understand that when I responded to you earlier, it's out of respect, and it brings back the power back to yourself so that you can really do something. When you're waiting on some external factors to play out, for the stars to align, and for the new quantum system to make you rich, yeah, it's coming. But in the meantime, find your purpose. Take action on a daily basis in regards to not only cryptocurrency, but understanding business, real estate. What are you going to do with your wealth once you get it? One of the last conversations that I just had with my Discord group was about putting together a real exit strategy for your wealth once you come into it. When XRP does moon, when all of your cryptocurrencies do moon, and you come into this money and wealth, what is your plan? Because you got to do something with it. Otherwise, you're just going to be holding that cryptocurrency and hoping that it doesn't drop back down in price, even though, it very well could. It very well will. Everything moves like that, right? So for myself, I got a strategy, and I'm going to be putting that together so that I can release it for everyone, which is beyond crypto, the exit strategy beyond crypto for our wealth, and we've already started to put it together. I'm launching my business development program that I'm giving to my Discord group, and that's all about starting a side hustle and or starting a real business, building up a business. The other part is real estate that we've been talking about here for a while in my Discord. We've had exclusive, basically classrooms, little, seminars put on by real estate experts in our Discord as well. And then we've been talking about our precious metals. So you hold the precious metals as a hedge, as an insurance policy. You invest in businesses that you know and understand. And then you invest in real estate as a way to hold your wealth, but also passive income, generate some revenue there. So for us, it's a multifaceted approach. You have to understand, you have to know what you know, though. Like, for most people, real estate's actually pretty simple, but there's 100 different ways to do real estate. You could start an Airbnb business, which Airbnb business is getting hammered right now. You could become a flipper, is the most common thing. Then business is a whole other world. That's Pandora's box with business. But for us, it's never been about, we're going to hold 2,000 XRP, we're going to become a multimillionaire, and then we chill on the island forever, sipping Mai Tais and, Coronas on the beach. Weekend golfer, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. My boy Chad, thank you for the super chat, brother. Thank you. I appreciate you, man. I really hope that Flare does launch on July 4th, Michael. We'll see. I've been disappointed before. Zach, when you get rich, I'll design your next home. Architect in the making. There you go, brother. That's what it's all about. Yeah. All right. If you're looking to get this XRP merch, you can head on over to my website, zachrector.com. If you're on TikTok, if you're on YouTube, it's the link down below, link in bio on TikTok. Head to zachrector.com, just hit the merch tab. You'll be able to find it there. We appreciate all of your support. If you're looking to join our exclusive Discord community, We do our weekly live calls every Saturday. You get full access to me. I'm launching my business development program, which I already have like 6 or 7 webinars already outlined that I'm going to be covering in that business development program. Really excited to just provide more and more value to the group. So if you're looking to get tapped in over there, you can get caught up to speed on all of the digital currencies, on our whole wealth building strategy rather quickly if you get in that group. And then, with that being said, nonetheless, if you could just share this message with other like-minded individuals, I really appreciate all of you guys so much in this community. We will see you guys in the next one. Tomorrow night, we will be doing our Rumble Live session, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I hope to see you guys there. We get a little bit lit over there. We have a little bit of fun, unfiltered, uncensored, complete truth. And I appreciate all of you guys. We'll see you in the next one. Take care. God bless.